Today I'm going to read you a story called Gordon's Rules. My friends and I love to play sports soccer, football, hockey, basketball, baseball. You name it, we play it. We have two ways of playing sports one, by the rules, two, by Gordon's rules. Take football, for example. It's usually Gordon, Paulo, and me against Spot and Chopper. Now, everyone knows dogs and turkeys can't catch or throw footballs, but they sure can tackle. Of course, Chopper can outrun all of us, and he tackles by grabbing the seat of your pants and dragging you down. The idea is to hand off the ball before this happens. Spot's trademark move is to hurl his 50-pound body at you and then scratch and peck at your body until you give up the ball, which I usually do pretty quickly. That's considered a down. A, touch, a touchdown is scored if anyone manages to carry the ball for 1 full minute without losing it, either losing it to either tooth or claw. For a field, we use the entire Lima farm. Nothing is out of bounds, and running through the cow pasture avoiding cows and cow patties only adds to the skill and grit needed to play football by Gordon's rules. The last time we played football, the game lasted for 2 hours without a single touchdown. Our bodies ached from being turkey tackled, and the seats of our pants were torn from Chopper's teeth. We were exhausted, and there was time for just one play. Gordon drew us into a huddle. Now, a huddle is when you kind of gather together. Guys, he said, it's time to try our secret play. Run for the barn. With grim determination, Paulo and I nodded our heads. We broke the huddle and lined up against Spot and Chopper. I faced Spot, whose beady eyes glared at me. I glared back. Paulo was nose to muzzle with Chopper. Chopper's ears were laid back and his teeth were bare, and he growled at Paulo. Paulo bared his teeth right back. Drawing a deep breath, Gordon picked up the ball and started running backwards. Paulo tried to block Chopper, but the dog jumped sideways and darted around him. And in an instant, he was on Gordon. I ran around Spot and sprinted down the field towards the barn. Spot and Chopper pinned Gordon down, and all three of them wrestled on the ground, skin, fur, and feathers flying. Suddenly, Gordon managed to roll over and toss the ball to Paulo, who quickly passed the football to me. I caught the ball and did not look back. I raced towards the barn at full speed with Spot in hot pursuit. Chopper ran around to the front of the barn to cut me off, and as I raced around Big Boy's pen, Spot tackled me. We crashed to the ground and the ball flew out of my hands. It bounced and rolled out of sight around the corner, where Paulo's dad was sweeping the floor. The football rolled to a stop at his feet, and he casually bent to pick it up. Just then, Chopper ran into the barn, and then it happened. As Mr. Lima's hand came down over the ball, the football crazy Chopper lunged at him and clamped his teeth right onto the seat of Mr. Lima's overalls. Mr. Lima yelped and jumped up just as Spot flung his body against the man, knocking him down. Trying desperately to shake himself free, Mr. Lima waved the football in the air, which had the effect of waving a red flag in front of a bull. Spot and Chopper doubled down the force of their attack, and just then Paulo and Gordon ran into the barn. Pass, pass, cried Gordon. Dazed, Mr. Lima tossed the ball to Gordon, who raced out of the barn with Spot and Chopper at his heels. Paulo and I took off towards the door when suddenly his son and stopped his son. I continued running out of the barn, leaving poor Paulo alone with his dad to explain how you play football by Gordon's rules.